Good morning students, myself UK Singh, science teacher at ISL Modality Dhanbad. Today we will going to continue with the same chapter of class 8, which is force, chapter 11, force and pressure. In the previous class we have studied about the contact forces, and they were the muscular force and the frictional force. Now we will discuss about the non-contact forces. What does this means, non-contact forces? Simply when this force can be applied or is applied when the two surfaces are not in contact with each other, even if the two objects are separate from each other. One of such examples is magnetic force. So we all are familiar with the term magnet. Magnet attracts another magnet and iron pieces. Okay, so this is an example of non-contact forces because they don't need to be in contact with each other, the two magnets or the iron or a magnet piece. Another example, one such examples will be electrostatic forces. Electrostatic forces means the charge acquired by objects, two different objects. For example, take some small pieces of paper in a table and take a plastic scale and rub in your hairs. After some time you will find that if you place the scale just above the paper will be attracted toward the surface of the scale, which is known as electrostatic pressure. That means the force due to this charge distribution. Okay, this is known as electrostatic pressure. Okay, and this can be seen with many objects. For example, a straw is said to have acquired electric charge after it has been rubbed with sheet of paper. Such a straw is an example of charge, but these are some of the examples of electrostatic forces or non-contact forces. Gravitational force, you all know about gravitational force. What is gravitational force? That means every object, the earth's surface attracts every object towards itself, is known as gravitational forces, and the force that is acquired is known as force of gravity. So everything tends to fall in the surface of the earth due to force of gravity. Now another important term is pressure. What is pressure? The pressure can be explained by simple mathematical term, which is force per unit area. Okay, force per unit area. That means force at a particular area is known as pressure. Okay, so from this mathematical relation we can say that to increase pressure, either we have to decrease the area or increase the force. Okay, to decrease pressure we have to decrease the force or increase the area. Okay, now let us understand this concept. Suppose if we want to cut vegetables or fruits with a knife which is not sharp enough, so it would be difficult for us to cut from this knife having the edges which are not sharp, which are blunt kind. Okay, but if you cut vegetables or fruit from a very sharp knife, it will be easier to cut it. Why? Because the pressure applied per unit area is less. Why is it so? Because area has been reduced due to sharpness. Sharper surface means lesser area. Okay, and this will enable to generate higher force per unit area. Okay, so either from the simple mathematical relation we can say that if you decrease the denominator, or in other words you can say that pressure is inversely proportional to area on which it acts. So as we decrease the area, pressure will increase. We can also say that pressure is directly proportional to force. So if we increase the force, pressure will increase. Okay, there's a direct relationship with force and indirect relationship with area. This was all about pressure. Okay, so pressure is applied by liquid, gases and even solids. Okay, moving to the next topic, atmospheric pressure. Okay, we all know that the earth's surface consists of atmosphere, which extend to many kilometers around the earth. Without the presence of this atmosphere, life would not be possible on earth. because it brings about beneficial actions like this gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and greenhouse effect. So due to this air around us, this atmosphere, envelope of air around us, a pressure is exerted which is known as atmospheric pressure. Okay, so we can say that it is the pressure of the atmosphere on every object which is situated in the earth. Now to understand this, one of such example I give, when you press a sucker, most of the air, sucker is a kind of device which is basically used for many operational, like in laboratories also the sucker pumps are being used. Okay, so most of the air between the cup and the surface escape out differently. If you apply pressure, it will first the sucker stick to the surface, and it will be very hard to separate it. It will require a what you can say very large force to what you can say remove the sucker from the surface. Why is it so? Due to this is atmospheric pressure. As we know that the atmospheric pressure is applied over the sucker. Okay, and from the inside of sucker there is also an envelope of air. So both this pressure counterbalance each other. But when we press the sucker, most of the air press the sucker on any surface. Okay, any surface, wood, iron, or any surface of our desire, even in the land. Okay, so what is happening here? We are just draining out the air which is present inside the sucker, due to which there will be a huge pressure of the atmosphere which will prevent the separation of the sucker from the surface. So if we apply larger force, it will get separated. This is the basic narrative of atmospheric pressure, and this is just this signifies that the magnitude of atmospheric pressure is very high. Okay, and the important term is given as the weight of air in column of the height of the atmosphere and area 15 centimeter into 15 cm is nearly equal to the weight of object at mass of 225 kg. Now we can also see that or 2250 Newton. Here simply there is a expression which signifies the magnitude of atmospheric pressure. That means it applies a force of 225 kgs on the given dimension of objects 15 centimeter into 15 centimeter. So this signifies how much is the atmospheric pressure around us. Okay, after you get the video, the link will be open for all of you to ask your doubts. Thank you.